So I was at the library and there was this really attractive girl, bro, and she had these AirPods in, and I was kind of anxious to approach her because I heard that you shouldn't be approaching these girls with these AirPods in, but at least she seemed pretty chill, so I approached her, and when she saw me and unplugged she unplugged her earphones and smiled at me, and I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, just listening to music." And I was like, "Oh, what music you listening to?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm just listening to some Rihanna." And I was like, "Oh, you listen to Rihanna, huh?" Yeah, yeah, I like her music. What was that one song, Disturbia? Yeah, yeah, I like that song. And she was like, "Oh, that's actually the song I'm listening to right now." And I was like, "Oh wow, what a coincidence." And 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 I was like, I remember listening to this song when I was young, and I liked it, but I didn't really know what it was about. And now that I'm older, I kind of understand what it's about. It's kind of about like wanting to be in a relationship, even though like this guy is kind of disturbing and kind of creepy, I guess. But you're just intrigued by the mystery of this guy, and she was like, "Yeah, I like this music, but I don't really agree with like wanting to get with these bad boys that got like this dark history that makes them kind of brooding and mysterious and kind of bad boy vibes." And I was like, "All right, that's something I gotta work on because I got this dark history that makes me kind of broody." And that got her laughing. And she asked me what music I listened to, and I basically said like any recent albums that came out. That's an artist that I like just recently Snoop Dogg came out with an album, and I haven't listened to Snoop Dogg in a while, but I saw that he came out with this banger album that everyone loved, and so I got into it. And she was like, "Isn't Snoop Dogg that guy that came out with that song, Smoke Weed Every Day?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, he's a bad influence, but you know, if he got this new album, and if everyone seemed to enjoy it, then I'll be getting into it as well, even though it's a bad influence." And she asked me like what song in this album really stood out to me, and I was like, "Oh, it was that song with Eminem in it as the feature." Any song with Eminem as a feature stands out to me. And she asked me if I ever thought about being a rapper, and I was like, "Yeah, I could definitely pull it off, but I just need something that I can really be proud of. Like these rappers, they got all these things that they can be proud of. They got the cars, and they got the diamonds, and they got the women. And I just need something that I can really be proud of, and it doesn't even have to be anything too expensive. It can be something that I can be really proud of, and I can like flex on these haters about it. And she was like, what if we were in a relationship and I was your girlfriend? You think that would be something that you could flex on the haters about? And I had to put the brakes on her. I was like, what? A relationship? But I feel like I just met you. And she was like, oh, it's just to flex on the haters. And I was like, no, I don't feel like this is the type of relationship where I want to be in, where I'm doing it just to get back at these haters who think that they get more women than me. And she was like, all right, how about we take it slow and go on a date this weekend? And I was like, I don't know, I still feel like you're a bad influence after what you said. And she's like, really, I'm down to take it's real slow. And I was like, all right, fine, we could go out Friday night. And since you're talking about taking this slow, I feel like I don't need to be showing you to anywhere too fancy, because I don't want you to get you a fancy meal so you can flex on your girlfriends that you're getting shouted by a rich guy. And she laughed and kind of said that she would never do that. And I was like, all right, how about we go to this nice restaurant in Richlands, the Lion. It has these high ceilings and really nice decor, and it's a good place to relax without anything too fancy. And she was down, and I was like, what do you like to eat? And she was like, oh, I'll be digging spaghetti. And I was like, oh, you like spaghetti? So you're like crazy about this Italian food, huh? And she was like, yeah, I pretty much like everything Italian. And I was like, oh yeah, we could go to Italy and have some authentic Italian cuisine and visit the Roman Colosseum. And she laughed that off pretty good. And I learned that she had a friend that was Italian. And I was like, oh really? Then why am I still talking to you? Show me where she is. And that got her laughing. She thought I was really funny. And I asked her if you could describe yourself in using one word, and what would it be? And she was like, oh, I'm really stubborn. When I set my mind to something, I don't stop until I achieve it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. So I feel like if you were one of the characters in my story, then in my books, yeah, you could be like the inspiration for my next book. You're gonna be like this girl that's really stubborn, you know, and like the other characters in her group are gonna be like, they're gonna be like the creative ones, They're gonna find like creative new solutions to these problems in the story, and you're like the character that's kind of dragging them down, you know, just trying to force them to keep trying the same thing to fix problems. And she kind of slapped my shoulder playfully, and she was like, I only persist in something when I know that it's gonna succeed in the end. And I was like, yeah, sure you do. So like, how about in the story, these friends go on a road trip to somewhere real far away that's like this big party destination, and their car breaks down, and you're the one that like, while the friends are trying to get a ride with someone else, you're the one that keeps trying to start the car. You're the one that tries everything to fix the car, and nothing works, and you're just like, and there's like this massive bus full of people going to the same destination that you're going to, this big party destination, and there's like a lot of awesome people in this bus, and your friends are telling you to come with them on the bus. There's plenty of room, and you're just like this really stubborn girl that just keeps on trying to fix the car until it works. And she was like, I would go on that bus if I knew that there was no fixing the car. And I was like, oh, so you're stubborn, but you're not that stubborn. And she was like, I can be open-minded. And oh, so you can be open-minded, huh? So what if a guy was really ugly, but you felt like he might have a great personality? Would you go out with him? And she was like, no. And I was like, see, so you're not open-minded. And she was like, I am open-minded, but you're just making it really hard for me to show. And I was like, okay, fine. Tell me what makes you so open-minded. And she was like, okay, when I'm with my friends, I'm always the one that's telling us to go to like new places, and while our friends just want to go to the same old bar and stuff, I'm trying to go to all these new places. And I was like, oh yeah, what's one new place that you've been to recently? And oh, I was telling us to go to this indoor skydiving place. And I was like, oh, you've been to one of these indoor skydiving places? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that must have been real fun. I guess you can be open-minded and open to trying new things. And she was like, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to going on this date with you this Friday night. And I really feel like if we can get past these flaws that you got, this stubbornness and I guess kind of snobby attitude, if we can get past all that, then I feel like we could hit it off. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I'll see you then. Bye.